Hello folks and welcome to another video. In this one I'll be comparing the Xbox Series S/Series X controller with the Dualsense controller. So this is obviously the Xbox Series S/X controller. It's got a aftermarket battery pack in there, as this one didn't seem to want to charge batteries anymore, and it would chew them through really quick. So we've got one of these Venom packs in there. It does a good job, lasts a lot longer, and it just charges off a USB-C. Whereas this one is micro USB. So what's the good things about this controller? Well, it's solid. It's got very good solid construction. I like the placement of the analog sticks. They're very nice as well, and the button's got a nice feel too. D-pad is nothing to write home about. You've got the Xbox button there, it's okay, a pairing button. I do like the very concave nature of these triggers. They actually look like triggers as a result of that. And these have a nice feel to them too. I like how they run in line with that top piece there. The shape is nice, and you can put the peripherals in the bottom there. It's got an overall good feel to it. Got a decent weight, nice shape. I've always liked this setup with the analog sticks personally. You've got your sort of options, and I think that wants to change between different apps on your Xbox, as well as the colours there on the buttons as well. So, not a bad controller. You could say it's perhaps lacking in features, maybe. It's got vibration and that, but not a bad controller. Let's pop that back there. So now you have the DualSense 2, just DualSense. So, D-pad, again, it's okay. It's slightly less rough edges on the corners there than the Xbox One, and slightly more raised on these bits here at the edge. You've got your share button and the options button there. This controller also obviously has a touchpad that is sensitive to touch and pressure, and it's also got lights that go around here as well. You've got your PlayStation button, just like the Xbox button. You've also got a microphone button on here to turn that off, because it does have one built in, and you've got a port there to put peripherals in. I do prefer the analog sticks in the locations as done on the Xbox controller to what they are on here, but it's perfectly fine. I can deal with these absolutely fine. Also, I prefer the way the Xbox controller just actually has the dip in the middle there, whereas this dips in but also comes up slightly. I do prefer the Xbox One for that. You've got your face buttons, much the same, just different symbols on them. And you've got your triggers here. These aren't integrated as well, but they do okay. I would prefer more of an actual lip on these triggers, like the Xbox controller. But these are pressure sensitive, which you might think, well, does it add that much? It actually really does. In games like Call of Duty, when you squeeze your trigger here, it actually gives a bit of resistance, as though you were squeezing the trigger on a real gun. Just adds to the immersion and whatnot. And of course, you've got your rumble in there as well. Charging, there's no other option to charge these. You just get your USB-C and it charges the controller. Now, I've got some old PlayStation 3 controllers that have still hold a decent amount of charge many years later, so I'm not too worried about that. So form factor, I'd say the DualSense is actually a slightly bigger controller, although, and it's also got bigger handles at the bottom. Both are very comfortable to use. Obviously, if I had to give props to one, it would be the DualSense. It does have more features in it, including a built-in microphone, the pressure-sensitive, resistive triggers. It's got a touchpad as well as lights on it. It does definitely have more built in there. The Xbox controller kind of feels like Microsoft have iterated rather than actually enhanced it very much at all. It's a good controller, but again, its biggest selling point is probably its really easy plug and play use with Windows, which is what we tend to use this one for, because we don't actually own an Xbox. So I'd have to give it to the DualSense controller, but this is still a good controller. So there you go. That's been my pretty quick comparison of the Xbox controller and the PlayStation 5 controller. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, share this video on your socials, and check out my Patreon as well. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video. Feel free to check out some of my other videos as well. I've got a fair number on the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good day.